Well, hello. Here's our little piece de resistance for a cute little pre-war transformation that's pretty significant. This couple and family have homes out of state up in the Cape Cod area, and they had a 2-bedroom and a 1-bedroom combined. And our challenge was to put this back as a 1-bedroom. Here we have the former entrance between the 2 apartments, which is now bricked up and fire rated with a wall there. We had to compromise on the budget and decided to completely strip and stain the floors. These floors probably should have been replaced because they squeak, and once they start squeaking, the only way you can change it is you have to replace the floors. We ripped out all of the picture railing. We put in a pocket door to basically allow this to become kind of like a bedroom, 2 single people living in the bedroom and the living room if they wanted to share an apartment. They have kids that were in college, 5 of them, and now they're moving on to jobs and careers. So we opened up the walls from the foyer into the bedroom on the right, the bathroom and the kitchen with symmetry, so that it is very classic in the sense of how it feels. One of the big challenges here in moving this wall over was we had to fill in the floor and make it look like it's always been there. The big room, and this is so typical, and it's funny with the lighting, they didn't want a ceiling light, it had a ceiling fan. So one of our switches controls the light, and they'll use floor lighting and task lighting to change the space. We replaced the windows. We had a tough time with the crown and just kind of cleaned it up by taking the picture molding off and leaving the old radiator covers and putting in new Friedrich. This is the cool line. We're having changed all of the moldings. I think it helps to update it. New doors, new door hardware, and basically, of course, all the new electric had to be rewired. We were limited. We could not upgrade the electric. So let's come back in and we'll take a look at the kitchen. The Bosch fridge, and the bottom line with this entire apartment is this apartment has not compliance with the American Disabilities Act. And what that means is you have to have 40 inches between the cabinet and the wall, and you have to have specific sizes of the space for the bathroom and wheelchairs and whatnot. So your doors have to be 34 inches wide, and they really don't seem to understand that old buildings like this were never designed with those laws in mind, and so they're really nasty at the DOB. They basically said, well, it doesn't comply. Move the wall. Well, how do you move the wall when you have that beautiful molding in the other room? You can't move the wall. So we literally had to put everything back. We had straightened out this wall so we would have more room and bigger cabinets, and we had to put it all back. But I think what happened, which is really quite lovely, is our owner and client has lovely taste and was willing to be dramatic and loved this marble. So we had to find it. She has this up in the Cape, and we are thrilled that we could incorporate it because the gas pipeline is behind this wall, and we actually have a gas meter that you'll see up here that we have to put in eventually. That's a big headache. But I think by having the continuous veining of the marble, we were able to really make this space feel quite grand. This is a Miele hood, which I've turned the hood off because it's so powerful. And we ducted it because it's vented and it goes up over the top of the cabinets. And this is a tall ceiling. So, we have over almost more than 9.5 feet, and new windows. Basically, I put a transom up on the top of the window. So we continue the duct out here, but there's ample storage, deeper cabinets, so that I think we've done a pretty good job of giving them the most space they could. Our little cute Miele 18-inch dishwasher, Blue Star range. It's so hard to get in here. Here we are with the videographer, and we're just struggling with the space. She wanted a double garbage rollout, so we got that. All the soft close technology. We have a little sink tilt out, which they argue with me all the time about. And a great sink, when you see in here, it's got a drain to the right corner, which is kind of nice. And I think with all the new windows and space, this is a porcelain, beautiful porcelain floor that looks really very much like stone. I think we've done absolutely everything we could with this tiny little space. So let's just go look at the big one bedroom, and the piece de resistance is the bath. So we'll come in here. So again, we have problems with lighting, and I think they have to use task lighting for just about everything. New windows, these, we turned off the air conditioners because they're so noisy. Big walk-in closets. We always put in our, the lights come on when you open the door. I think that as soon as I get the last part of the bathroom done, it'll be quite magnificent because they can move in. We love the color of the floor. This is a red mahogany stain, which a lot of people don't use. I don't know why. I think it's probably very traditional. It works with a lot of antiques. Wired, of course, all the Verizon Fios wiring is in the linen closet. Changed left the metal door frames, stripped them, but changed all the doors so they look consistent. We had this tiny, tiny closet that we kept because we had to keep everything in place, but we think it's good for brooms and the kinds of things that you need to put stuff in or you don't want people to see. But let's come take a look at the bathroom. So, again, we were stuck with the DOB not allowing us to change the existing footprint because once we changed it, we didn't comply. We're 2 inches short in this bathroom, the width, for us to have a wheelchair turnaround. And the joke of the whole thing is you can't even get through the door. The door does not comply with the 34 inches that they need to have, which is just insane. But they don't care. Classic pre-war style here. We've updated it with a large basket weave, and I think it's kind of interesting that this owner decided, and I agree with her, it's nice to not have more grout lines. But my classic cubbies, we put in a grab bar for aging couples. This is a roll Holborn plumbing, which we love. Our custom vanity, and we have a not so funny story about this vanity. When we had originally designed this, even before we had to put the jog back, we had turned the toilet because, it would make perfect sense. We have room to turn the toilet here. And we had 2 problems. One was that the super would not allow us to put a radiant heat floor, which is insane. We had it approved. There's no issue. He thinks he knows everything. And you know what? In the end, you can't argue with Tammany Hall politics in these buildings. It's nuts. So we had to put the radiator back. So it's a cute little new radiator. And then we had an issue with where the plumbing could go. So the plumbing lines completely limited what we could do. And honestly, we made the mistake of not picking up the knee clearance. Even though I can clearly sit down, this becomes a problem. So we've cut it back, and I'm making a new vanity now. We're going to cut this corner out and have the 3 drawers in the middle so it'll be like a T-shaped, not quite, reverse anyway, and then 2 doors on the side, and we'll put the same marble countertop as this with a Julia faucet from Waterworks and our Roburn medicine cabinet with, I think the fixtures and the tile are really quite spectacular if this is the style you like. New windows, of course, and just an absolute nightmare to finish these walls because they're all crooked. But I think all in all, I can say that I love the way this feels. And I think, we always pay attention to every detail, but it's ciao for now, and we'll see you on the next.